on live television.
So we'll start over.
I nominate that we leave it in the second.
I second
Okay.
it. Third.
I think everybody's in favor, so thank you all very much. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes of November 7th, the special meeting.
Oh, you missed public comment real quick.
No.
Oh, mine must be in a different order, maybe. The memo must be in a different order. Okay,
So do I have a motion for approval of minutes from November 7th? Do
I'll make a motion.
I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Public comments?
That'd be me. I'm Ethan Kozachik. My wife and I have lived at 438 Mill Street for about 4 years now. And we had to move, and we're trying to sell the place. However, we've run into an issue with zoning, I guess. We've had 5 different people that are very interested in it, willing to give us asking price for it, that haven't been able to get a loan because it's zoned industrial. And so it's puzzling to me, puzzling to my realtor too. And I've spoken with Brian a few times. It sounds like it's kind of difficult on your end to do anything, but I was wondering if there's any way you'd have some ideas. Maybe my realtor suggested rezoning it as dual use, industrial and residential, since there's other 8 houses, I think there's 8 houses in that block. I don't know if that's an option, or not, but, so that's. Yeah.
Wouldn't the normal be special land use application?
that's if you're gonna do like an at-home business, or you're gonna, like the salvage yard was one that we did. I mean, I've asked the attorney several different questions. I don't think that we could have it zone both, since they're kind of incompatible uses. So if it burned down, there would need to be a variance, and that's, I think, the hang up with the banks is that they want to know that it can be rebuilt. And I can't give them a letter to that effect because that's a decision that's going to be made down the road by the ZBA if and when that happened. So there's no way I can predict or tell that future board how to act. So, and there's not a way to do sort of a preemptive variance. We've looked into that as well. But basically the same thing as with trying to write a letter. It's, can't really give a variance until it's the appropriate time.
And Chuck has no suggestions.
Not really. I've added it to the city's webpage of available commercial properties. I've mentioned it to a few folks that were looking for land or buildings in the area. Sounds like they haven't contacted you at all. But that's, we can try to connect them with Branch County Economic Growth Alliance, see about listing that on, I forget what that page is called, but it's sort of a statewide database of available properties. So I think we could get that listed on there and draw some interest. It's, we don't have a lot of industrial land left, and this is a really nice property with 3 acres. That could really be a good space for somebody. So whatever we can do to try to help market it, or help in any other ways, it's just our hands are tied on trying to give those banks what they're looking for.
And what's the address?
438,
Mill Street?
yes, sir.
So this would be right next to the property that we bought for the wastewater treatment plant
Okay.
for 22 Mill Street.
So, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Being there's, I think it's a total of 8 houses in that block that are residences. Would it be unreasonable to pursue, getting it so that they could sell their house and not run the same issue as well? I mean,
And they're all zoned commercial down there.
Yeah, so if you look at the map over there. Well, actually, that's a future land use, but if you look at the existing land use, that's not very map either. So I mean, this area is all zoned industrial. I know it's a future land use map, but this area is all, and he's probably
yeah, closer
closer to Douglas, right? So it'd probably be around here. So it's surrounded all by industrial, and state law prohibits spot zoning.
Yep.
We're trying to just rezone that property. And I don't believe the homes are really contiguous along that middle street.
closer to Madison, it might be, mine.
And they didn't tell you that when you bought it, way back when?
It kind of caught us by surprise.
It's a bit surprising because I provided the realtor with some other examples of houses that sold that were in, say, a commercial zone that with those properties sold without an issue, even though it was a residential use in a commercial area. So I mean, yeah, it's a tough situation, unfortunately.
Nobody can find a bank that will finance it.
Currently not, 5 different people have tried. We had 2 accepted offers and then 3 people that didn't even start the process because they went to their bank first because we told them the situation. So,
So you have a bank loan then, right now?
we do, yes, we got a mortgage.
Would these people, would your bank work with these other people?
We've asked them and they said, it's possible they could through some, maybe an in-house loan, they called it, but they'd have to apply and see.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we passed that information along too. And according to my realtor, they tried at my bank and they said no.
Huh.
They were a liability or something.
I don't know, I sold real estate for 6 years and it's the first time I ever. Leave your name and number with Brandon,
Yeah, he's.
and let me reach out to some people I know, that deal in real estate, and I'll see if I can offer some help. Other than that, it's probably, we're kind of tied here with the state rules. And I mean, it'd be very difficult to rezone that whole area to make it residential.
Maybe even combine residential and,
Well, I mean, we'll have to really look at it because, there's 8 houses, but there's also commercial. So
In
the
between,
spot zoning rules are pretty set, so.
Ideal thing is some big company want to come in, industrial, buy it, and he says, well, if you want this plot, it's plot.
But yeah, give me a little time to reach out to some people I know that do real estate and banking
okay,
and see if I can maybe find somebody that will talk to you that can make some recommendations. So I'll get your name and number from Brandon.
okay, I appreciate that.
Best I can do, other than that, we have a big fight with the state for trying to rezone stuff.
I don't want to cause a big hubbub, I just want to sell my house.
And, I will try and help.
Okay,
No promises, no guarantees, but,
I appreciate it.
yep,
I do have one more question,
sure.
and that's about the taxes. and that's probably why I never really knew, is because they've always come through as residential on the taxes, which is great. I'm glad I'm not paying commercial taxes. But how does that work if it's zoned commercial, but on the taxes, it says residential? How does that, like, is that
Yeah.
normal?
Yeah, so it's assessed based on the use of the property, which is residential.
Okay.
So if it changed to industrial, then it would get assessed, and the classification would change to industrial.
Okay.
Somewhere back sometime in the past, that's all been rezoned back there, probably from the original purpose. And it got swallowed up in there.
How long ago would that be?
I mean, the only thing we could do is, we found a map from 2005 that shows it was zoned industrial then,
Let's say, I've been
so at least 2005.
20 years, 19 years, I've been on planning committee. And it's never, it's never come up before in my tenure here, being on planning. So it's been a while. It would have been before then, because I sat when we did the previous planning and updating zoning ordinances, all that stuff. So I've been here for the last 3. So I'll do what I can to try and help you, but we're kind of tied. We'll talk and see what we can, ideas.
Okay. All right, well.
I'm
thank
sorry
you.
we're not more helpful, but.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yep. Very interesting.
It's come up before, but it's never been this big of an issue with 5 different institutions not letting me go through.
I'm surprised with the number of loan companies out there. But, yeah. Okay. New business, 2024 through 2031 capital improvement plan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Planning Enabling Act of 2008 requires the Planning Commission to submit a recommendation on the proposed capital improvement plan to the City Council for review and approval. The CIP is intended to be used by city officials as a guide for future planning for capital projects across all city departments and assets. The guide also serves to increase transparency for city residents and to act as a resource for citizens to better understand how the city plans for capital improvement projects such as water, sanitary, sewer, roads, police, parks, fire equipment, and facility improvements and purchases. The CIP is a critical tool in implementing the updated master plan by connecting planning efforts with budgeting for capital projects. By evaluating and prioritizing projects ahead of the budget process, the CIP enables a structured approach for developing the capital project portion of the annual budget, which has always been in the budget under each department. We've had 5 or 6 year sort of plan for major expenses. Pull up the plan here.